used a big first inning to get back on the winning track. Tonight, the Pirates in town carrying a 5-game losing streak. Opportunity knocks for John Lennon in the opener on MASN.
Rain has moved through the area, and here at Nationals Park, it'll be game one, the Bucks and the Nats. And it looks like Washington has found its leadoff guy. Roger Bernardina, batting average way over 300. Roger Bernardina, on base percentage, way over 400. Exactly the numbers you're looking for. Our long man out of the bullpen is here again tonight. That'd be Ray Knight, the right-hander. FP, we hope you're feeling well, buddy. Hope to have him back in a day or two. Let's talk about the Nats against left-hander Paul Maholm tonight, because this ball club has not handled lefties at all. In fact, against left-handed starters, they're about 170 or so. Not very much better against all the lefties they face.
Yeah, Bobby, what's surprising is the right-handed bats. The Espinosas, the Desmonds, the Worst have not done anything against left-handed pitching. You look at that 194, Pirates are right behind it at 220, but you have a situation where you have Espinosa, Morris, and Worth, who should hammer left-handers, are striking out once every 3 at-bats. So you're talking about Paul Maholm. He pitched a great game against this ball club. He's had pretty good outings. His record is deceived against his team, has only scored 1.8 runs for him. But the fact is he throws a lot of change-ups out away from him, the sweeping breaking ball to the left-handers like LaRoche. We have to get to him early. First inning, he's allowed almost 5.5 runs. Second inning, 6.5 runs.
And he beat John Lennon and the Nats 4-2 on April 25th. In that game, Maholm 7 good innings. John Lennon got stalled by a rain delay and then was unable to get the job done. Trying to bring that average down against right-handed batters, because those righties are really handling John Lennon well. And, of course, then there's the defense. The Nats right now are 4th in the league in double plays. They keep making the basic play, but often the spectacular play. None better than Mr. Bernardino over the weekend, taking one right away from the fish.
Brought to you by AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. By Sonic, America's driving. It's new, it's better. It's the new Sonic Good. And by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Time for the Nats to get those bats moving around and taking on these Pittsburgh Pirates, who are having some offensive struggles of their own. The Pirates took 2 of 3 for the Nats in Pittsburgh 3 weeks ago. 69 at game time. Quite muggy, chance of thunderstorms, but the big one evidently cleared out of here about 2 hours ago. Visit Trane.com for an independent Trane comfort specialist dealer. Near you, it's hard to stop a train. Pirates are hitting .234 ahead of the Nats, and they are tied for 14th in the league in runs scored. Andrew McCutchen is their catalyst, but right now he's only hitting .235. Only 5 steals, but he has 7 homers and 20 RBIs, and always seems to hit well against Washington for power and runs batted in. John Lannon, 8th start against the Bucks. For some reason, Ray, he's had a lot of problem with this team. 1-4 with a .491 ERA.
Well, they're pretty much a free-swinging ball club. They don't walk a lot. They've had a tough time scoring runs, but when John's on, he's throwing a lot of strikes, and with them free-swinging, that relates to balls put in play.
7:06 first pitch, and John Lannon missing to McCutchen. And a liner. Desmond can't get there. Ian Desmond just back into the lineup after missing 2 days with that pulled quad. Probably well enough to play yesterday. They held him out an extra day. And the Nationals defense with Desmond up the middle. Espinoza at the corners. Hairston and the unbelievable glove of Adam LaRoche. Roger Bernardina flanked by Michael Morris, who Jim Riggleman says will be in there against left-handers, and Jason Worth. Wilson Ramos behind the plate. 2 of the 3 most striking out teams in baseball here tonight. Pittsburgh and San Diego 328 Ks. The Nationals 327. Funny thing is, each pitching staff strikes out the fewest batters of any pitching staffs in the National League, so something's got to give.
There's a lot of things with these 2 ball clubs that correlate, especially offensively.
And a foul tip by Jose Tabata, who is struggling now, hitting .226. 12-year veteran behind the plate. That'll be Tony Randazzo, Dan Bellino, Larry Vanover, and the 20-year veteran crew chief, Brian Gorman, first, second, and third. Pirates are 18-22. They've lost 5 in a row, and they're 5 back of the Reds in the Central. Nationals have played pretty good against the Central. They've lost series to the Pirates and the Cardinals, but they've beaten Milwaukee. So Jim Riggleman's ball club 5-4 against the NL Central. And Clint Hurdle and his head trainer Brad Henderson right alongside there.
Top at 25 strikeouts on the year with 124 at bats, so he strikes out a lot.
Fastball up and in. Pirates, by the way, have been better on the road, where they actually play in front of some crowds, than they are at home. Only 7-11 at PNC Park, a beautiful ballpark, but the attendance is low. On the road, they are 500, 11-11.
Very unusual.
2-2 after a look at McCutchen and a throw over. Andrew McCutchen hasn't run a whole lot this year, 5 steals, 9 attempts. But the Pirates, as a ball club, 27 stolen bases, 7th best in the league. McCutchen a short lead, 2-2. Lannon with an off-speed pitch fouled back.
Both teams have had a tough time scoring runs. As you know, this ball club, Nationals are just averaging 3.08 runs per game. Well, the Pirates are averaging 3.06. Only 145 runs in the first 40 games of the season.
Target in. Lannon gets in there and just misses up and in to Tabata.
I like this pitch. I like any pitch that's inside to show the hitter a little bit of something. That ball is right on the corner. You know, I just don't know why umpires do not call the ball that passes through that rectangle there. I mean, that is a strike. It gets the plate.
Tabata breaks his bat and drops one into center field. So John Lannon, one pitch after not getting a strike 3 call, now has a problem with 2 on, nobody out.
Well, almost the same pitch. He just moves it a little bit more out over the plate. The pitch obviously is up. You don't want to be up in a situation. John Lannon certainly doesn't want to pitch up with that 88-mile-an-hour fastball. This ball is up, almost in the exact same spot, maybe even a little bit more in. Breaks the bat, but he had him rung up on that pitch. And, you know, I'm not one to hammer umpires. And, you know, with all this equipment that you have nowadays, visually, they can't see what we see. But, my goodness, if it's that close, you should be swinging at it.
Ground ball should be 2. Espinosa, Desmond brushing the bag and turning the 4-6-3. Neil Walker swinging early in the count. And John Lannon, the master of the ground ball out, gets a deuce right there.
One reason why they've had a tough time scoring runs, swinging at the first pitch that you see from a pitcher on a night that, you know, you can take pitches, but great for us as John Lannon induces the ground ball, and it's pretty much automatic when those two guys get it out there. Strong arms, great hands. Look at the turn here as Desmond still clears himself, but does not get his left shoulder back toward the bag as much as I would like for him to.
Nationals since the 29th of April have been the best defensive team in Major League Baseball. Only 2 errors. The best easily in May. And that's something Jim Riggleman loves. He calls it playing clean baseball. And that's what the Nats are doing right now. That's their 38th double play of the year. The Pirates have hit into 45 double plays in 40-plus games.
Well, if you're last in the league in hitting and you're the last in runs scored and you're not hitting a lot of home runs and you're striking out a lot, then the defense is the key that keeps you close to 500. This team able to make plays all year long, especially lately. But there is no question that the defense is, you know, you say 100 times better, but this defense can go out there and play with anybody.
Yep. Well, maybe this is indicative of the Pirates. Their cleanup man has no home runs. That's Matt Diaz, who in 8 years in the big leagues with Tampa Bay, Kansas City, and Atlanta has 43. Now, we should note that guys like Garrett Jones and Lyle Overbay, who hit for power, are on the bench tonight because they're left-handed batters, and Clint Hurdle throws his righties out there. But you don't often see a team line up with a cleanup man, no homers, 5 RBIs. Unless it's the first 2 weeks of the season, maybe.
Right.
2-1 pitch. John misses up high.
Matt Diaz, you saw the numbers there, 440 against John Lannon. He is a guy that always hammers softer throwing left-handers because he hits the ball basically from gap to gap. Doesn't try to pull the ball, hits the ball up the middle. Even 3-1 count here, you'll see him take the ball generally up the middle of the field.
3-1 pitch. And John Lannon will give up his third base runner out of 4 batters.
Well, John Lannon very aware. Believe me, these guys know what hitters are very successful. And then they go over the pregame meeting with McCaddy and decide how they're going to try to pitch someone, and you get a base open. They say, hey, this guy, we cannot let it beat us in a situation that we can pitch around him with a base open.
Now here's Steve Pearce, the first baseman, whose career is 2 for 5 with a home run against Lannon, and he steps in batting .282. Long first inning in terms of trying to get anybody out. John got that double play ball, fortunately, that has him in a position to escape all of this. 2 singles and a walk, driving up his pitch count. The next one will be number 20.
Well, I'm keeping a little chart here. That is a 19th pitch, and 11 of those pitches have been above the waist. And that's not going to get it for John. There's a nice pitch right there, working itself down toward the plate. It's just a sinker, 87-mile-an-hour fastball. He turns it over, and it just works down. Still, that's low compared to what we have seen, but pretty much right down the middle of the plate.
On a 2-1 fastball, he gets a call. Upper half of the strike zone towards the outside corner. So Tony Randazzo did call the away strike against the right-hander.
Yeah, these kind of pitches scare me. I mean, He got a strike out of it, but if there's anybody in our staff that must keep the ball down, it's John Lannon. His whole existence pitching every fifth day is by keeping the ball on the down.
That's a fair ball. What a play by Hairston, and the Nats don't get the call at first. Pierce beats it out. Pirates lead 1-0.
This is a tremendous play. That ball is hooking, catches it about 4 feet, comes up, throws a seed to first base. Nice job by LaRoche stretching the correct way. Didn't waste any time here, just did everything he could. Speed of Pierce beating the ball there just barely. That's a bang-banger. Nice play. That saves a run. I guarantee that ball will get banging down in the corner down there. Pierce scores from first base.
Next up will be Brandon Wood, the former Anaheim prospect.
Let's check this out one more time. Let's see. There's the ball. That ball is probably in his glove. It looks like a tie to me because I can see a little bit of white before it settled into that web, but too close for me to call.
Well, and here's the other thing. We can see the ball enter the glove,
right?
But the umpire is hearing the sound of
exactly.
it pound into the palm of the glove or the pocket of the glove, and sometimes that takes that one extra instant. So the Pirates now 3 hits and a walk, and John Lannon would do well here to get out of this with only 1 run. They signed Brandon Wood while the Nats were in Pittsburgh. Runner tries to shield Desmond off the ball. He throws wide, and LaRoche saves a problem there. Long inning for Lannon, could have been worse. Time for the Nats bats to go to work. Paul Mahalem, Washington hitting .225, 12th in the league in runs. Starting lineup packaged by the UPS store. We love logistics. Michael Morse is in there, 5 out of 12 against the Bucks this year with a homer and 4 RBIs. Overall, Michael is hitting .244. And by the way, I got to tip my cap to Michael Morse. The grounds crew put the tarp on the field today during batting practice at 4:40 during a downpour. Michael Morse helped them stretch that tarp over to the third baseline. Nice going, buddy. And here's Paul Mahalem, 1-4, 8 starts against the Nats career with a high ERA of 5.73, and he throws a strike to Roger Bernardino.
He and John are very similar. They both throw 87 to 89. They keep the ball down. A lot of movement, a lot of change-ups, and a sweeping breaking ball from Mahalem. There it is.
Bernardino tried to wait for it a little too long, and the count's 0-2.
But you have to wait. You have to wait to hit the breaking ball because it sweeps so much. A lot of times he throws the ball right at the hitter, and that has a tendency to make the hitter bail if you're thinking anywhere less than up the middle. So you want to kind of create an angle to left center field. And by creating an angle, I mean point your shoulder toward the shortstop as you start your swing, and that way the bat barrel will tend to be inside the baseball.
1-2 from Mahalam to Bernardina. Roger hits it well, and just a short leap for Ronnie Cedeno.
There's our buddy FP, talks about staying inside the baseball, which is critical.
Yep.
Made a great explanation of that the other night.
Cedeno up the middle with Neil Walker in the Pirate defense. They're 12th in the league. Brandon Wood, Steve Pierce, the corners. Andrew McCutchen, second in the league in outfield assists with 4, flanked by Jose Tabata and the veteran Matt Diaz. Chris Snyder on the catching side with Ryan Domit, the switch hitting catcher, on the bench tonight. And here's Ian Desmond, 2 for 6 career against Mahalam. Then, of course, he comes back from 2 days off and he's hacking. That's what Ian does.
He is. And as he gets more experience, he'll become more patient. Doesn't matter. I'd rather see you aggressive than to be, placid up there. But the whole thing is getting a good ball to hit.
He's always swung well against the Pirates. I'm sure he hated to miss those 2 games against Florida, the way he's hit against the Marlins in his career.
When Desi gets in trouble, he flies that left side open, and he doesn't have anything left. See how that ball's down and away, but his body is going toward the third base coach's box. Watch the left side here, how he spins out right there, and he needs to have that shoulder much more directed toward the second baseman, at least up the middle, but you need to keep that shoulder tight.
He'll take that one low and inside, 2-2.
Well, it'll make you see the ball better if you stay square with that front shoulder. To me, it's always been the key. A lot of people think that it's your hips, but certainly if you step in the bucket, your hips come into play.
Good take. Neither of these guys are strikeout pitchers, as Ray has talked about. Both of them have what you would call bad control numbers. Mahalam 32 strikeouts but 21 walks. John Lannon 22 strikeouts, 19 walks.
That's a great point.
So these pitchers have hurt themselves with lack of control at times, because they can't throw the ball by people. That ball hits Desmond while he's still in the box, and it's a foul. Ray, if you're not a guy who can throw the ball by people, you cannot afford to give up walks.
Look at this swing here now. This is a sinker down and away, and watch how his body is gone. His whole body is gone, just like you're pulling off a ball. The belt buckle is toward almost the dugout. And
but
then
he lays off some borderline pitches and draws the walk. Hey, he's hard to walk. That's only Desmond's 6th walk of the entire year. He's had 136 official ABs.
Well, I think he kind of corrected that as he stayed there. That was the best take of the day. And the ball coming in on him, he was able to see the ball better and stayed right there without his hip flying open.
So here's Jason Worth, 3 for 29 against left-handed pitching this year. And the Nets need him to bust out of it with something bigger than a single. They'll take that right here. Desmond a short lead, one of the leading base stealers in the league. Ian has 13 in 14 attempts. Only Michael Bourne and Jose Reyes with 14 more steals than the Nats shortstop. Washington 35 steals, second in the league, 8 behind San Diego. Wow, that's right down the middle.
I personally think Jason, and this is not being negative, I think he takes too many pitches. He gets himself behind in the count so often, and he prides himself at seeing a lot of pitches, but that ball's right down the middle. Now, I know it's the first pitch, and I always had a theory or an approach that the first time that I face a pitcher that I haven't seen in a long time, I always made myself take the first pitch just to try to gauge his velocity and the movement. If the first pitch was a ball, I would make myself take another pitch to just see if he'd throw a different type pitch and learn as much as you can the first at bat.
Way inside. When these two faced each other in Pittsburgh Monday, April 25th, Worth doubled the first time off the right field wall, and then he singled to right center before striking out a little later. So he stayed on the ball and took Mahalam opposite field twice.
Well, Jason can flat out hit, and his numbers are going to rise as the season goes on, no question.
He goes to right field on this one. It's slicing into the seats. A lot of folks are still coming into the ballpark. They're all lined up out there at the left center field gate. A lot of $1 seats in the ballpark. By the way, Ray Knight has announced that he's buying dinner for the entire crew as long as it's a $1 hot dog.
Oh, yeah, I did announce that, didn't I?
I announced
I'll even throw in a drink.
2-2 to Worth. Instead over to first. And Ian Desmond, with a left-hander staring right at him, hasn't really shown any indication of moving. They're still coming in.
Well, he needs to get a one-way lead, which is get as far off as he can so that he knows that he can get back.
Worth, left side, base hit. Got a pitch he could pull. He had enough topspin on it that it hit the ground twice, and Brandon Wood had no chance to cut it off. It'll be 2 on, 1 out for Wilson Ramos.
Well, you get a lot of top spin when that top hand just kind of smothers the ball right there. He hits the ball on the top half with the hand starting to come over and smothering the ball, and that gets the ball through the infield very quickly.
And a big-time chance for Ramos here, who's 4 for 35 in 10 games. Batting average down to .267. He's thinking right field, and he hits it extremely well, but out of play. I asked Jim Riggleman, by the way, Ray, today, if Pudge Rodriguez, every time he plays, he seems to do something dramatic to help the ball club, like yesterday, with 2 hits, a walk, and 3 RBIs. I asked Jim if it's tempting to play Pudge more or else stick with the plan of Ramos every 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4 games. And he said, you know, Wilson Ramos, it goes way beyond his offense. They've got to see him behind the plate, how he handles pitchers, how he throws out runners. He's done very well at doing both things. And maybe sometimes I think the lesson I learned from that question I asked Jim today and the answer he gave me was that we maybe emphasize offense for catchers too much, because they have so much else to do.
Yeah, buddy. And another thing, too, is developing players. You can't develop on the bench. Pudge has had his day. He can still play, no doubt about it. And there's times when he may be the best player in that dugout that puts on that mask and shin guards. But you have to develop. And a young kid like this, the only way that you can develop him is giving opportunities. And so I think they're doing it the right way. Now, if you're in a pennant race and all of a sudden by August you're a game or 2 from the wild card, then you just put the best player back there and roll with it.
Yep. 1-2 now. Ramos skips back from a fastball, and the Nats are going to make Paul Maholm throw a bunch of pitches here in the first inning too. With 1 out, Ian Desmond walked. Jason Worth worked the count, singled through the left side. And now Ramos a chance to put an early stamp on this game for the Nats.
Coming inside again. See, now this is what's gotten out in the league. Ramos hit the ball so well the opposite way, hitting about 370 for his first maybe 60 or 70 at bats. But he likes the ball middle away. Now they're starting to pound him inside, and this looks like a changeup down away. So they're trying to bust him inside with their hardest stuff body and then go soft and away, which is basically the way people pitch good hitters. But you have to lay off that pitch inside, and you have to not be chasing the ball down and away.
At one point this season, he was #1 in all those categories among the rookies. Still well represented. But he's going to have to adjust. 3-2 pitch. Runners are going. Base hit. And because they're going, Desmond scores easily, and the Nats have tied the game on a Ramos RBI, his 8th of the year. How about Jim Riggleman rolling the dice with those base runners?
He did that instead of a double play to get the infielders moving at short and second to try to create a hole. And what you always worry about when you run guys with 1 out, 3-2 count is a line drive double play. But sweet stroke, staying back, not a lot of energy loss moving forward. He drills that ball to left field. I like the aggressiveness.
And coming off the bench after 2 days off, nice that Desmond didn't have to really dig hard home and maybe be involved in a slide play, anything like that. He scored easily. So now the Nats will have Adam LaRoche in there.
A little surprised that Mahalam went with the fastball 3-2.
I guess he didn't want to walk him.
No, he didn't want to walk him, but, I know, the world knows that Ramos can hit anyone's fastball. And but that shows you that he also decided to challenge him. He had a 1-run lead, and his best fastball against the hitter's quickness.
Click your heels 3 times and say there's no place like home. Here's LaRoche hitting a .188, but he's 2-4, 2-4-4 with 2 RBIs against Mahalam. One of the most selective hitters in the league right now, one of the league leaders in walks. And because it's a double plate possibility for the Pirates, they can't play any kind of shift on the pull hitter LaRoche, even though he may not see much of anything to pull here from the other left-hander.
Shortstop a little bit pull. I mean, he's a little bit strong. Certainly not like the overshift.
Hey, what's up with all this first inning offense now? I know the Nats won at least 10 games recently without scoring in the first inning, and now Jim Riggleman has been able to do some maneuvering right out of the gate. 6 yesterday. Possibility for more than 1 today. That's going to hang up and in and still stay in the zone, and LaRoche in the hole. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, left-handers this year, on average, have thrown LaRoche mostly breaking balls. They tend to show him the fastball in and out, and then try to get him out with breaking balls.
That one is way outside, forcing Chris Snyder to his knees. Big, strong Michael Morse, who likes Pirate pitching, is next.
Wouldn't it be nice to see him getting that groove that he was in at spring training and last part of last season?
He's going to have to do it against left-handed pitching. That's what Jim Riggleman said today. Lance Nix will be hitting against right-handers and Morse against lefties. LaRoche, line drive, double play. Jason Worth going, and Cedeno stepped in right behind him. Nats settled for a run, as did the Pirates. Three RBIs, a walk, a run scored yesterday, and tonight Wilson Ramos, a base hit, RBI, and not to mention, Ray, they're both throwing out base runners at a very good rate.
Well, this ball club is very blessed to have a veteran catcher that knows it all, been through it all, seen it all, and still can do it physically, and a young man that he is tutoring that listens and has a great ability to retain what he's told, and he's going to be a really solid major league player, and that cat on the left, only Johnny Bench in my estimation was a better player all the way around, but I might be biased. Johnny just had so much power, much shorter career. Certainly not the type of hitter that Pudge is and was for average.
Left side. Hairston waiting to cut it off. Then he got his feet set for a quick throw over to Adam LaRoche. One out here in the second. Ronnie Cedeno next. And then the pitcher, Paul Maholm. Nice crowd gathering on a Monday night with all this $1 madness going on around the ballpark. A lot of folks bought tickets for $1. They sold out in a matter of hours last week. $1 hot dogs. All kinds of fun stuff tonight. Some folks even parked for $1. Ronnie Cedeno, who was batting under 200 when the Nats were in Pittsburgh, is doing a whole lot better now, starting this ball game at 232. He's their slick fielding shortstop. Hit 179 through the 28th of April. Then it's interesting. The Pirates brought in Brandon Wood from the Angels, who'd been let go. And ever since then, the motivated Cedeno has hit 311. His job was in jeopardy there for a while. There he is. We know he's a good shortstop defensively. Ronnie, of course, a former Cub. Played in Seattle. Pirates got him in a 7-player deal that involved Jumpin' Jack Wilson back in July of '09. When the Pirates had Jack Wilson at shortstop, every year they were among the best defensive teams in the league.
Barry Larkin mentioned that a couple of nights ago when asked who was the best player to play shortstop that was under the radar, and he said Jack Wilson. No
Great
question.
answer. Absolutely. Landon can't get that one, and Cedeno singles up the middle. His 5th career hit against John. That gives Maholm a chance to bunt. Now don't forget, there's another great promotion tomorrow. It's a 105 game against the Bucks. $2 ticket Tuesday. Go to nationals.com/specials to find out more. Select seating, some restrictions, and those seats while supplies last for $2 tomorrow. $2 to see the Bucks play the Nats. Maholm 2 sacrifices this year, 19 for his career. On a big time charge from third base was Hairston as Landon threw that ball to LaRoche.
Not sure why John throwing the first there with the bunt in order. Cedeno will not be running with the bunt in order because it's the batter who is a pitcher. It's his responsibility to get him down there unless Clint Hurdle is going to try to trick somebody, and he's not that kind of manager.
Hey, just hit the pitcher's bat here. You get it?
Yeah, it's just a waste. I mean, you're just not thinking properly when you throw to first base with your 8-hole hitter up, 1 out, tie ball game, and your pitcher hitting. You just don't need to throw to first base. Like you say, throw it and let it hit the bat and hope he pops it up.
Yeah, get ahead of him and then give him a fastball way upstairs. 0-1 pitch. And Maholm reaches out and hooks it right around his body for strike 2. Paul Maholm is from Germantown, Tennessee, right outside Memphis. That's Matt Cain's neighborhood, the outstanding young pitcher for the Giants. And then Maholm went to Mississippi State, where he was all SEC, NCAA All-American.
Just have to be careful 0-2 for LaRoche not to leave too early.
Maholm, for a moment, looked like he was going to pull the bat back and do a butcher boy there.
Yeah,
but
a little butcher boy, slug bunt.
Yeah, he took the fastball up high. McCutchen, dangerous hitter on deck. Give him something now that's tough to bunt with 2 strikes, because then McCutchen would have to at least double to get a run home.
I don't like the breaking ball. I don't like the breaking ball, period, when a hitter's trying to bunt. Just elevate the fastball right at the top of that Pittsburgh and they either called it a strike or you pop it up. Very tough to get on top of that ball. But the breaking ball, you have a lot of time to see it. It's working itself down. You're going to hit the top of it and bunt it on the ground.
There's the fastball, and he bunts it badly and strikes out. John Lannon's first K of the night. Now it takes McCutchen at least to get an extra base hit. 2 years ago, Chris Coughlin of the Marlins, who was just here, was the Rookie of the Year in the National League. But Baseball America named Andrew McCutchen their Rookie of the Year when he stole 22 bases, drove in 54 runs, and hit 286. First rounder, 11th overall player taken back in 05 out of Fort Meade, Florida.
I tell you what, if you were to take the GMs in all of the major leagues and put every player in a pot and started a draft, this guy would be picked very quickly because he can fly. He's going to hit for power. He plays a solid defense.
Jose Tabata, if the inning continues. 2-0 here. And John misses outside.
Good pitch. That's the pitch he has to get. That is his go-to pitch, and the pitch that is his out pitch. And he misses just barely 2-0.
Would they turn him loose on 3-0 in a tie game? Well, not even any suspense on that pitch, way up and away. And John Lannon, we talked about this earlier, his control numbers now, 23 strikeouts and 20 walks on the year. And that'll get the manager to take his ball cap off and scratch that brow a little bit.
Well, you don't want to put runners in scoring position, and that looked like to me that he was pitching away from contact. And certainly McCutchen can hit, but this kid here makes good contact and drives the ball all over the ballpark. So you just don't want to build big innings.
Jose Tabata blooped a single up the middle first time when John busted his bat. That's a good tailing pitch to get that strike one call. Every once in a while, Lannon will hump it up to 90 or a little higher. Now they're going to go inside. In the East tonight, the Marlins open a series up at New York. They're there for 2 days before the Nats go there. And the Phillies are at St. Louis. Just scored a run against Jake Westbrook. Top of the second. The Braves are home hosting Houston. While the Nats play the Central here. That is outside third, right by the coach, Nick Leyva. And the count's 1-2.
I've always thought that John needs to go inside more. He throws so many pitches out away from right-handed hitters that eventually the hitter will start leaning out there and extend his bat. Go inside and then come back with something soft away, or the slow hook back door that's just put something in your mind, or double up in there like he's going to.
Ball gets away and Ramos keeps it close.
But that was something soft.
Would your first impression of this game be, Ray, that John Lannon is pitching defensively?
Well, John pitches that way. I hate to say defensively, but he pitches to try to hit corners, and he knows that he has a small margin of error. But I would have liked to have seen him come back inside. It's seldom that a pitcher doubles up inside, and I don't know why. Doubling up inside, I mean, he throws a pitch in there and then you come right back and throw it in there, but that tends to happen. If a guy didn't swing the first time, he doesn't think you're going to come back in there because he thinks that's a purpose pitch, and you're going to throw in there to get something away.
3-2 runners going, drilled to right, and fortunately Worth is right there. Pudge Rodriguez is the Nationals' version of Ferris Bueller. You give him a day off, he's got to be doing something. Always active, always in the game. There's our Pudge. Evening here at Nationals Park. Call Luna for up to 70% off your flooring. 877-241-LUNA. Shop smart, shop Luna. There are no Nationals on this list. Kind of surprising. Madison Bumgarner, winless for the World Champions. They're not getting him any runs, and Paul Maholm is right there with some of the most neglected pitchers in baseball.
I know John Lannon was on that list the first 2 years as a starter for the Nationals. Right around 2 runs per game he was getting.
See how Michael Morse does here. It's taken him a while to play his last 8 games, but he is 6 for his last 15. Michael's playing time greatly reduced now by the surge of Lance Nix in left field against right-handed pitching. But Mike had a home run in Pittsburgh. Out ahead of that ball. In fact, in the first game of that series, Morse had 2 hits and an RBI. He had a 3-run homer in the Sunday game against Kevin Correa, and then went 0 for 4 in the third game of that 3-game series. So he's done some damage against the Bucks. Off-speed pitch, got him. Strikeout number 1 for Maholm.
You see what happened there. You see him foul the ball off on an 82-mile-an-hour pitch because he's way out in front of it. So what do you do as a pitcher? You take a little bit more off, judging the bat barrel, and he just swings ahead of the pitch. So just a nice job pitching, nice job reading the bat barrel and adjusting down when you see a big hitter up there swinging hard.
And maybe a night batting right-handed is what Danny Espinosa needs. Jim Riggleman today saying that Danny's just a little bit off from the left side of the plate. Just having a hard time getting over the top of the baseball. Left-handed, Danny's hitting 175, but right-handed he's at 237. And he's 1 for his last 22. He's got a lot of power from this side. Extremely tardy on that swing.
Right-handed, he has a flat swing. He gets down and through the ball. More like if you think of chopping wood, but just extended about 3 feet up on a tree and chopped down with an axe. He has that kind of swing right-handed, which allows him to drive the ball.
Gets a pretty good piece of this one. It's flirting with the bullpen, and it's caught by McCutchen on the track right at the 377 mark.
Well,
and he just got under it.
He's a strong kid. That ball was hit almost in the clouds and still carried at 375 feet. But his swing is much flatter. Left-handed, you see a little bit of scoop type uppercut, and that causes him to swing through a lot of pitches because his bat is not in the hitting zone for a long time. It's just like scooped like a U in the hitting zone. And maybe one night on our show I'll be able to illustrate that.
You know, one guy I can think of who has a really flat swing from both sides of the plate is Lance Berkman.
Oh, he does. He does. And he works hard at it. Lance Berkman is one of those guys that puts a tire on a tree and puts it about belt high and hits down on it all winter long.
Really?
It strengthens his hands. He told me that about, 8 or 9 years ago. Started doing it at Rice University, and just to make sure he stays down and through the baseball, and he does have a very flat swing.
Sharply hit by Hairston, who had 4 career hits against this lefty. And the Nats go in order in the bottom of the second. It's a 1-1 game in the series opener at Nationals Park. the 3rd we go. We invite you to visit AFCEA.org, the Association for IT Pros. Debbie has our AFCEA sideline report.
Well, actually, Bob, it's an injury report. The Nationals have been playing pretty good baseball despite missing some key members of the team because of injuries. Ryan Zimmerman was out on the field today. He was throwing, and he told me that he felt pretty good, so his progress is steady. Rick Ankiel, the center fielder, he said that after taking batting practice and shagging in the outfield that he felt good, and he'll see how his wrist responds tomorrow. Now, the swelling in pitcher Todd Coffey's right elbow has gone down considerably. He played catch today, and he will be ready to pitch tomorrow, although he did tell me he felt like he could go tonight. Bob?
Well, it'll take more than a line drive to knock down that big old pot of coffee. That was nasty. And that's good news because the x-rays were negative.
Oh.
Neil Walker leads off, top of the 3rd against John Lannon. Walker has been driving in runs for the Pirates. He's hit safely 10 of his last 11 games and 8 RBIs during that time.
Leading their ball club in doubles with 8, 5 home runs.
Yeah, he was batting cleanup for the Pirates when the Nats were in Pittsburgh. Not too many second basemen do that. 22 on the year. He's a switch hitter, and from the right side, he comes into this game batting .324. First time up, he went swinging early in the count, hit into that 4-6-3 double play that helped John Lannon get out of that inning. Hot shot to Hairston. 1 out. Todd Coffey took one right off the elbow yesterday by Emilio Bonifacio.
This was a bolt. That ball was hit hard, and what made it so bad is it pins his elbow against his body, so it absorbs every bit of the shock.
Wow. Everything's still in working order, though, for the big fella. That's great news for the Nats bullpen, which really also over the weekend was bolstered by the appearance of Cole Kimball from AAA.
Boy, does that young man have a future.
Yeah, he may never go back. Here's Matt Diaz. Matt Diaz walked first time up. Diaz speared by Desmond. Ian got a good read on it, went to his left, didn't have to go too far for that one. 2 outs. Let's have a look at our minor league report, brought to you by PNC. Solutions that help you achieve your financial goals. PNC, for the achiever in you. And how about this achiever at low A ball Hagerstown? Bryce Harper's hitting streak finally ended yesterday. But look at the extra base hits, the RBIs, the runs scored. And best of all, that .381 batting average. We are 2 weeks away from the 1st of June. Would not be surprised to see him changing addresses right about then. Maybe from Maryland down to Virginia. And then the Nats would like him before the season is over, according to Mike Rizzo's plan. Told to us in spring training, the Nats would like him to make one more trip north to Harrisburg by the time the season's over. And then next year, the sky's the limit. Steve Pearce, RBI single down the 3rd baseline, brilliantly played by Hairston first time.
Well, as you move up, you don't see any better stuff, Bob. You just see guys that start throwing the ball to smaller parts of the plate. Bryce's comment about a month ago was that, does anybody around here throw the ball over the plate? he is talking about nobody could throw the ball over the plate. As he progresses and gets into AA, he will find that they don't throw any harder there. He's facing guys that throw about as hard as you're going to throw in low minor leagues, but he will find people to put the ball to tougher pitches to hit.
Keeping it away from his sweet spot, huh? Desmond, he'll bounce it. LaRoche will pick it, and Adam LaRoche has done it again. Well played by the young shortstop, and really well played by the veteran first baseman. Of some other cells here and there, but right now, great night for baseball. As are weekends for families here at the ballpark. Expect great things with the Harris Teeter Family Fun Pack. Every Saturday and Sunday, it's all inclusive. $14 gets you a ticket for the game, hot dog, chips, and a Coke. Nationals.com/family. Some restrictions apply. Your next opportunity will be May 28th and 29th. 2-day games, Saturday, Sunday, with the San Diego Padres here. John Lennon looks at a couple of strikes. Bottom of the third underway. John 0 for 15 this year. 091 career hitter. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball outside. Paul Maholm, strikeout number 2. Top of the order. And the exciting Roger Bernardino steps in at 8 o'clock here at Nationals Park. Nice crowd on hand for a Monday night. Bob, Ray, Debbie. Had a chance to chat with our buddy FP Santangelo this morning. Still hurting with his throat issues, and hopefully we'll get FP back for the opener of the game up, or the series up in New York on Wednesday night. He sends his best to you Nationals fans and misses you as much as you miss him. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike to Roger Bernardino. Lined out to Cedeno, the shortstop, first time. They play Bernardino straight away and bunch him toward the gaps. That's up and in. 2-1. Right fielder, Matt Diaz, probably 95 feet off the line. And a little further than that, Jose Tabata in left. Trying to keep Bernardino from plugging a gap somewhere. That's right down the middle, 2-2. Roger is 7 for his last 16. Trying to get a hit in his 5th consecutive game. And a breaking ball that he waited for. Race to the bag, and Maholm gets him by a step. 2 outs. There are no routine ground balls when that guy's running. Tomorrow, 1:05 first pitch. Jordan Zimmerman and right-hander Charlie Morton. Then it's on to New York for 2. Tom Gorzolani and Dylan G on Wednesday night. Thursday's another day game at 1:10. Levon against R.A. Dickey. And then the Nats will move on to the Battle of the Beltways in Baltimore on Friday night for 3. Jim Hunter and Mike Flanagan will join us on our mixed broadcast crew. Basically what it is a 3-hour debate between the Nats announcers and the Orioles guys. And we have a lot of fun with it, and we hope you enjoy it. And the Nats owe the Orioles a couple from last year. Baltimore won 2 out of 3 in both ballparks. Ian Desmond walked and scored on a Ramos base hit back in the first with a Worth single in between. Jason Worth, yeah, got a hit against a left-hander. Inside target. Desmond locked up, couldn't complete his swing. 2-2.
Yeah, just not a pitch you want to even offer at. The ball's so far inside that, see how he brought his hands in to try to get to that ball.
Often when we say he handcuffed a hitter, that was a perfect replay of such a thing.
Right. Well, he's gone in there twice. I don't think he'll go in there again, so I think he'll probably go out and away from him.
3-2, and Desmond hits it sharply up the middle, but that's where Neil Walker was playing. And now that is 7 in a row for Maholm, going back to that line drive double play in the first. About pitching tonight, John Lennon and Paul Mahalem matching up pretty well. Steve Pearce, an RBI for the Bucks, and Wilson Ramos, his 8th of the year for the Nats.
First inning, first 2 runners on, double play, and then this play here, great play by Harrison, just beats it out, Pearce, as they score. And then Ramos, runners moving, first and second. Desmond having walked, and Worth followed that with a single. Rips one through the left side, 1-1.
And Pudge has something to say about everything.
He's earned that.
Yeah, I love it. I love the way he stays involved when he's not playing. We saw him giving signs in the first inning. I'd like to talk to him later and find out who he was giving signs to. Desmond was on second base at the time. Any dugout where Levon and Pudge are not playing on the same night, there has to be lots of activity.
It's a happy dugout. Those guys stay in the game. It's great to have teammates like that. I had teammates, fortunately in my career, generally older guys that just kept you loose. Mike Lum, Bob Bailey, Terry Crowley, hitting coach for the Orioles. Just always in the game, always offering something, but not taking it so seriously that it becomes your life. It is a game. You have to play it relaxed. And those guys have been so successful because they do play the game relaxed. Intense, but relaxed.
4-pitch walk from John Lennon, his 3rd of the night. Brandon Wood's aboard, and here's the catcher, Chris Snyder. John Lennon, by the way, does have 6 ground ball outs of his first 9, including that really handy double play back in the first. He's always 1 pitch away from a couple of outs with a guy on.
He's throwing too many pitches, Bob. He's already at 64 pitches. That's 21 pitches per inning. He won't be long in this ball game if he doesn't get that pitch count back down into some type of controllable number. 14, 15 pitches per inning. He'll be at 90 before you know it.
.23 in the first inning, 22 in the second. He had a 1-2-3 in the third, but it took him 13 pitches, which is very reasonable.
Oh, that's good.
But a leadoff walk here, and now a 2-1 count. He's working his way toward the bottom of the order here, as Snyder rips one up the middle. Runner Brandon Wood going to third. What's he thinking? He's out.
He's thinking that our center fielder can't throw, I guess. He knows Anquil's not out there, but Roger Bernardina unleashes a rocket. The play was made at the back end, though, as Jerry Harrison Jr. picks this thing. This ball is a seed. And you see that the runner, Wood, is going even before. What a pick. What a pick and tag by Jerry Harrison. But charging the ball, getting behind the throw, 1-hop, sweet pick. Nice job all the way around right there. Boy, that's baseball. That's a tough pick, and getting back, I don't know that he got him, actually. Looks like his left foot was in there, but nonetheless, sweet play, and Brandon Wood with nobody out, making the first out at third.
And on
Cardinals sin.
On top of that, the hitter never made it beyond first base. That's really going to be costly for the Pirates now. Cedeno goes to the gap. They will hold this runner, Chris Snyder, at third base, and now John Lannon's being hit hard by the Pirates. The one good thing about this is the pitcher's coming up. There's no place for him to sacrifice any runners. They could lay down some sort of safety squeeze or something here, but Ray, that's
right
center
down Broadway, buddy.
Yeah, that's
yes,
belt
sir.
high.
Right down Broadway, as was the pitch to Snyder.
There's still a possibility the Pirates have run themselves out of an inning here. But it'll take Lannon getting Mahalem and either McCutchen or Tabata to end this inning. Pirates have 6 base hits already. I don't know what it is about John Lannan and the Pirates, or for that matter, the state of Pennsylvania. He's never beaten the Phillies. John Lannan career against the Phillies is 0-10. So he is 1-14 against the Keystone State. And that's a good breaking ball that had Mahalam all locked up. They have a catcher at third base running. So they would have to execute something absolutely perfectly to squeeze a run over.
I don't think that squeeze is a part of the deal here. And another thing,
you think they'd rather have 2 outs than McCutchen?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think right here in this situation, he's swinging, hoping he hits something, bloops over the infield. But you've got the infield playing halfway, so any ball hit to Desmond or to Espinosa with any juice on it, there's no way that he can score from third.
They do try to squeeze. It's a suicide, and this is why they call it suicide. If you don't bunt it, the runner's dead.
Bad play. I think it's a bad play. You got runners on second, third. What you're saying there as a manager is, hey, we need 1 run. And maybe because they've had such a tough time scoring runs, but even if the pitcher is out, you still have your leadoff hitter, who is probably your best hitter, coming up there, runners on second, third, and you then disallow him from being able to have a big inning. Great breaking ball, slow runner. You called it, partner. Not a situation that you see very often a manager call a squeeze.
Well, what he's done here is if John Lannan gets the opposing pitcher, which he is supposed to do, he has taken the bat out of the hands of one of their best hitters, McCutchen.
And taken tremendous pressure off of John Lannan. I mean, you take pressure off of John Lannan. He just has to make some kind of decent quality pitch here. And this guy, plus your infield's now back. They can knock down any ground ball or make a play on any ground ball.
And that's it on a called strike. The Pirates literally run themselves out of what could have been a very, very big inning. As it stands, 1-1, bottom of the 4th. Worth leads off. Hot dog night and all the other snacks, because he wasn't even on the field.
He was included in that deal that I offered to the crew.
He heard about that.
Yeah, he did.
Tall Tom Jefferson wins 2 in a row. Yeah, well, obviously some bad blood with the Gecko. The Geico President's Race. Will Teddy ever, I ask you, ever win? Look at this. Teddy, Tom gets his shot, Abe gets his shot, and the Gecko doesn't like it at all. Screech tries to step in.
Tell him to move out of the way.
Only so much a bald eagle can do when you're talking about a lizard and guys with unbelievably big heads.
And, too, when you've got that much speed and momentum, how do you stop?
How do you stop those heads? You're right.
That's right.
Jason Worth with a base hit to left, a clean single first time. Bottom of the fourth underway in a 1-1 game. He'll go to right field on this one. And right there is Matt Diaz as the ball kind of died right in front of him. Wilson Ramos has the only RBI for the Nets. You know, going back to that play a moment ago, Ray, sometimes managers will do something when they're desperate to score some runs. The Pirates, in many ways, and pardon the pun, they're in the same boat with the Nats. Two of the lowest scoring teams in baseball, two of the lowest team batting averages in baseball. They strike out as much as anybody in baseball, along with San Diego. So sometimes a manager will just kind of do something out of the ordinary just to get a run.
Yeah, but I tell you why, in my opinion, it's so unusual, because you're just in the fourth inning of a ball game.
Well, they've got Lennon on the ropes here a little bit.
They did. They were hitting rockets off of him. They just hit 2 rockets off of him, and then they got the pitcher up. And the guy runs into out at third base, and you've got McCutchen, who's always hitting well. But the point is, you're in the fourth inning of a ball game, 1-1. You don't know if this game's going to end up being 8-5, 7-3. You just don't know. So one run at that point should not be something that you're looking for. You got runners at second, third, looking at a big inning. If Mahalam strikes out, you still have probably your best hitter at the plate. Yeah. Now, if it's in the 8th or 9th inning, sure, squeeze all you want to, because that one run might make a difference. But Clint has had a tough time. You think of how many runs those Colorado Rockies scored. He was out there as the manager of that ball club, and they were scoring 5-6 runs a game. Now he comes over here, and his team's having a tough time putting runners on the board. And you see the rank there. They're at or near the bottom in 4 of the 5 major categories.
By the way, Ray, you may not know this. Hitters are not allowed to bunt in Colorado. It's against the law.
And I was told when I was managing that not to steal because you're in scoring position at home plate.
In Colorado?
In Colorado.
Hey, Don Baylor used to bat for his pitcher in the 4th inning out there if he was down by 2 or 3 runs. He didn't care how the guy was throwing. Clint Hurdle, unusual call, took the bat out of his leadoff hitter's hands. Gosh, they had a walk, a single, and a double and didn't score.
Hey, and another thing, too, just to be the devil's advocate on the other side, is Mahalam may be a tremendous bunter, and Clint knows that, but my point is, one run right there in the 4th inning with 15 outs left in the game, a little different decision.
The numbers wouldn't indicate that. He only has 2 sacrifice bunts on the year. And now, Paul Mahalam is the latest lefty to look like Cliff Lee against the Nets.
fourth after 2 base hits. Rockets. Woods tries to stretch it to third, and here he is out. Great play by Jerry Hairston. Then they try a squeeze. Miss with Paul Maholm, and they get him in a rundown there. Snyder, he's out. And then with 2 outs, breaking ball right there called. You know, you get 2 Rockets, a base on ball. Runners on second, third, 1 out, not able to score. That's what you call running yourself out of an inning.
John Lennon first pitch changeup to McCutchen, who took a fastball swing, but the ball wasn't there yet.
Beautiful changeup.
Andrew, a base hit, a walk. That's another thing about McCutchen tonight. He has had 2 good at bats.
Good pitch right there, boy. I just wish they'd call that pitch. I swear when I played, they'd call that pitch more, because when I took that thing, it was a strike.
1-1.
That is a nasty little changeup there, or a sinker, a little harder than his 80-mile-an-hour changeup, but still, I believe, changeup at 84. But great downward movement nonetheless.
Yeah, that pitch about halfway between John's straight change and his fastball. What does he do on 1 and 2? Target down and in. He goes breaking ball and strikes him out.
That's a nice job.
So John Lennon gets his 3rd K of the game. That's how the 5th inning gets underway. And by the way, as soon as 2 more outs are registered in this game, 2 more outs and the season will be 1/4 of the way over.
Exmo, breaking ball, gets on top of it, bounces it at the plate as Ramos patted the ground, and he is about 8 inches out in front of that. Perfect pitch. Started him off with the changeup, busted him inside, went back to the changeup, then the slow curveball.
Looking to bunt is Tabata, who has very good speed. He's one of the league leaders in steals with the 11, but he couldn't keep it fair.
John has not thrown any pitch this inning above the kneecap. So as he struggled in the first 4 innings, now he's at 77 pitches. He had the ball up in the strike zone, and now he's starting to get the ball down. Going inside with the fastball.
And that ball is drilled into the gap in right center. Bernardino will cut it off. Tabata very, very fast. Roger makes another good throw, and then Tabata barely stays on the bag. He's 2 for 3.
Kid can hit.
Roger Bernardino's putting on a show in center field these days.
Well, just to cut that ball off shows tremendous range. It's not always on fly balls that you determine an outfielder's range. It's also on balls that are hard driven into the gap. Look how he goes and gets to this ball, backhands it, does everything he can do to keep Tabata from getting down there, but just too much speed. Another almost perfect throw.
Yeah, right on line. Runner at second, 1 out now. Neil Walker, the hitter. He's bounced into 2 outs, responsible for 3 tonight. Double play ball in the first, grounder to Hairston in the 3rd. That 3rd inning, John Lennon's only 1, 2, 3. And he's about to throw his 80th pitch. John's most recent game 5 days ago in Atlanta. 6 innings, 5 hits, couple of runs, and Nats won that game 7-3.
This is where, as a manager, you're pulling so hard for the man on the mound. He's at 80 pitches. You know he's a 4th hitter up in the next inning. If your offense has anything going, you have a tendency to need to pinch hit for him, so you hope that he can have a short inning, few pitches, and then have the opportunity to bunt somebody over to keep him in the game, to give him a chance to win a ball game.
In that Atlanta game, John not around when the Nats won it in extra innings, but he threw 81 pitches in 6 innings. That was his 81st pitch of this game. 1 out, 5th inning. Puffed him up.
Great changeup.
Ramos waiting for it. Gets rid of the mask, and that's 2 outs. That John's really mastered his changeup here in the middle of the game. We'll check it out on the Kinetic Pitch Track.
Well, it was right down the middle, but He had something that he took off of it, working its way down to the bottom of the strike zone. And the speed of the pitch and deception got that hitter out.
Kinetic North America providing world-class technology to our national and homeland security customers. Lennon and Diaz now.
I'd be real careful here. You got first base open. This is a time that you don't want this hitter to beat you. He's a guy that has worn John out, 455, so you just pitch him to the edges, change speeds on him, and if you walk him, no big deal. You take pressure off the infield, you have a forced play at any base if you do walk him.
Driven to right, a ways to go for Jason Worth. He'll slide and he will cradle the ball after a very good play to his left. Jason Worth continues to play outstanding defense for the Nats. It's contagious. Everybody on this ball club playing good D.
Wow.
Snow cone. Park tonight, having a good time halfway through the game, a quarter of the way through the season now. The Mid-Atlantic Sports Report airs Monday through Friday from 5:30 to 6:30, and Jason Marquis was on live today. Tomorrow we've got some interesting things for you. You'll hear from Clint Hurdle and you'll hear from Joel Hanrahan.
I think all he needed really was an opportunity, and instead of when he stopped worrying about trying to start, and they said, you're going to be a reliever, and he got that opportunity. I think he kind of took off with it, and it's nice to see him having success.
And that's Joel Hanrahan talking about his former teammate Tyler Clippard. Part of the clip you'll see tomorrow. Clint Hurdle as well. Join Tom Davis, the rest of the panel, maximum access to the Nats and your favorite ball clubs, your favorite news, including Hanrahan on Clippard on the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report. Michael Morse leads off, bottom of the fifth. Fastball at the corner. Michael struck out swinging on some off-speed stuff first time. And right now, Mahalam has struck out 4, including 2 in a row. Well, he's had Michael Morse bending his knees and crouching down to try to hit the ball throughout this game.
I don't think he's going to see a fastball away. He may see a changeup. They're either going to pound him in with a fastball or just keep throwing him soft down around the bottom.
There it goes. A 1-1 ball game, bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, everybody beginning to pitch Michael the same way. Hard in. Danny Espinosa just missing a home run his last at bat.
Bat flies to third. Ball goes up the middle. And pretty good range there by Neil Walker. That's the second baseman on the left field side of second base.
Well, he's just way out in front, hits the ball right on the end, the changeup, hits it right on the last inch and a half of the bat, and it just breaks right down the middle. But look how he's out front. Eximo, it's going to be right on the end. I mean, right on the end. And that's where they're doing with Mike, just throwing him a lot of off-speed pitches, and he just can't wait.
Exmo brought to you by the 2011 Jeep Compass. Here's Danny
How
Espinosa.
about that shot? You could see the whole bat. He uses a cut, the bat, which means that they grind the end of it out. And
to make it lighter,
to make it a little lighter, and you could see the end of that cup just crush with that great Exmo shot. There's been some phenomenal shots from that Exmo camera. How about that tag play at home plate the other night? There's just no way that you're able to comprehend all that stuff, and even slow motion. But the Exmo puts it right there for you. You saw, I forget who the runner was. Do you remember, partner? Anyway, tapping at the plate a couple of times.
Oh, that was Omar Infante.
Right, as Ramos.
Yeah. Danny Espinosa kills one to center, and Andrew McCutchen grabs it. Wow. That ball was really scorched, and he might have hit that so hard it might have been knuckling on McCutchen a bit.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. He has a pretty right-handed stroke. See how that ball is just so flat? You never see any uppercut. You see the bat down and through the ball. It never has anything but just level right straight through the ball. You know, I wonder if, I mean, I'm not about to throw this out as a controversy, but since his right-handed swing is so good,
I know where you're going with this.
I wonder why he is, I'm sure he's a natural right-handed hitter, and somebody turned him around to hit him left-handed because he could run so well. But that's a pretty stroke right-handed now. Left-handed, and this is not being critical, just being factual. His left-handed swing is long. It's got an uppercut, and something has to give. He's going to have to make an adjustment to somehow get down and through the ball a little bit better with that left-handed swing.
Yeah, if he faced like a really soft tosser like Levon, he might be better off batting right-handed.
You know, I batted right-handed all my life.
You did all right. Hairston, a swing and a miss, 2 balls, no strikes. Well, FP was a switch hitter in his time. We'll get his thoughts on that when he gets back, because I know he's talked to Danny a lot about his swing. And I know everybody wants to see this young man succeed. His glove is so wonderful with his range, the way he turns double plays. Nats just need to get some offense out of him. Not a great deal, just enough.
Well, he's going to succeed. You know, as I sit up here as a hitting coach, as a former, manager, and saw, this 40th year in the game, you just see certain strokes that you wish that were a little flatter, a little more on plane.
Getting a good piece of this one is Hairston. See you later into the bullpen. Nationals lead 2-1. Jerry Hairston, second of the year. He doesn't hit a lot of them. That's the 61st of his major league career in 13 years.
Well, he got a fastball up, a little bit in. He knew it right away. Puts his head down. Just a matter of how far it was going to go out of the ballpark. Didn't get out by much, but he hit that ball hard, put a good swing on it. Now, that's a level swing.
That's a number 8 hitter doing that, and the Nats are on top.
Hey, most left-handed hitters have a little bit of uppercut, and so there's nothing wrong with swinging a little up at the baseball. It's just that there's some pitches that once you get the ball above thigh high, it's difficult to do anything with the ball with an uppercut.
0-2 to John Lennon now. He strikes out. Mahalam gives up his 3rd homer of the year. Hairston hits his 2nd. And after 5 innings, the Nats, they'll give some high fives and take a 2-1 lead. First career homer puts the Nats on top 2-1 here. This one goes top 6. Don't forget about all the flexibility here at Nationals Park with the Grand Slam Flex plan this year. You can pick 4 games, get a 5th one free. Plans start at $60, so do the math. That's $12 a ticket. Nationals.com/Grand Slam for ticket information. Top of the 6th inning, Pierce, Wood, and Snyder about 100 feet away from Jerry Hairston and 60 feet 6 inches away from John Lannon. Now the focus goes on Lannon, who actually, despite his struggles tonight, has held the Pirates to 1 run on all of those hits, 7 of them, plus 3 walks through 5. So he's been a real Houdini, getting out of several jams in this one tonight.
Well, he has a feel for that changeup right now, I'm telling you.
Pop fly, right side. LaRoche out, Espinosa over. Denny, the call, the catch, 1 out. The battling Buccos box. It'll be pretty full, but only 1 RBI, and that's Steve Pierce with the first inning base hit. They ran themselves out of an inning, losing Wood at third base after he walked in the 4th. On a base hit by Snyder. Then he was thrown out on a botched suicide squeeze. So John Lannon's defense has helped, and John's gotten some big outs when needed.
Well, he has found a rhythm. And there's last 2 innings, he's found a rhythm to double, but he's throwing the ball down.
He's got a pop fly here. Bernardina makes the call. AT&T trivia. Did you know a future Hall of Famer in '48 earned his first career win by beating the Senators?
That's kind of a big group, isn't it? Isn't that a pretty big group right there?
I would think so, but it did happen in 1948. Does it have anything to do with the personnel in this game? Or was it on this date, maybe? We'll let our brilliant fans figure it out. We're befuddled. And Lannon whips one right by Chris Snyder, who's 1 for 2. Right now, John Lannon's getting the ball back from Wilson Ramos, and he's ready to work. Came into this inning with 84 pitches. Oh, that's a good-looking breaking ball for a strike, right under the hands of the right-handed hitter. Ronnie Cedeno is really swinging a good bat. Nats would love to see him leading off the 7th. He has singled and doubled. Time requested by the hitter, and Tony Randazzo gives it to him. St. Louis got a couple of runs in the 4th inning. They lead the Phillies 2-1 now. And the Braves trail 1-0 at home to Houston. Lannon with the changeup, missing low. Mets underway at home. They must have been delayed up there, bottom of the 1st against the Marlins. We've heard the weather in New York's not exactly supposed to be wonderful for the next couple of days. That's on the corner. Snyder's gone, and John Lannon will get the quick inning he's been hoping for. Bernardina, Desmond, and Worth, top of the order coming up, bottom of the 6th. to town without us thinking about June 8th of last year. Stephen Strasburg's first major league start. A strikeout in the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the third, none in the fourth, 2 more in the fifth, 3 in the sixth, and 3 more in the seventh. He struck out the last 7, and 8 of the last 9 men he retired. Unbelievable. Stephen Strasburg, 14 strikeouts on 94 pitches. And by the way, the Nats beat Jeff Karstens and the battling Bucks 5-2. There were 40,315 here that 79-degree night.
And it was an electric night of a night. As a playoff situation, all-star game, it was rocking around this place.
I did so many radio shows around that game, they renewed my FCC license, which had been dormant since about 1978. 1 ball, 1 strike, and a breaking ball. Front door stays inside to Bernardina. Roger is lined out to short, pulled a ground ball to first.
See how Roger keeps that front side closed? That's what I was talking about, Desi. A breaking ball at his elbow, and he doesn't pull off the ball. He stays right there, and that's a sign that he can cover most every part of that plate. He's certainly not leaking on the breaking ball.
Desmond is next, and then Worth against Mulholland. Nats on top 2-1, obviously needing more runs, you would think, to get through the rest of this night, though John Lennon has really settled in. And Bernardina rung up on a breaking ball. Strikeout number 6 for Paul Mulholland. He came into this game with 32 strikeouts in 50 innings. Tonight he's got 6 over 6. And the Nats box score, well, pretty empty, except for the Ramos RBI after the Worth single, the Desmond walk in the first, and then out of nowhere with 2 outs in the fifth, Jerry Hairston, his second homer of the year, hit the ball about 385 into the bullpen. Ian Desmond walking and scoring, ground ball to second, 0 for 1.
Well, the Nationals struck out 8 times against Mulholland back on April 25th. And in the other 7 starts, Mulholland has averaged 3.2 strikeouts.
Yeah, so Ray, here's the number. On the year, he has struck out 38 batters, and the Nationals are 14 of them in 2 starts. Come on. 2-0. Desmond will take one off the plate. Be nice to have a base runner in front of Jason Worth, who's had 2 real good swings here tonight. A clean single to left and a line drive to right. Taking on 3-0.
See how soft he is with his feet? 2-0 he was taking, 3-1. 3-0 taking. He needs to be that soft when he's swinging. See how soft that is, though? You want to have that nice, soft stride, keeping your hands back, and then have an explosion with your hands, shoulders, hips, all at the same time simultaneously, as opposed to having a 2-piece swing.
That's a breaking ball inside. Ian Desmond, as I mentioned, is hard to walk, and he's the one National who's done that tonight twice. 1948, future Hall of Famer earned his first career win, beating the Senators. The great Satchel Paige. He reportedly, and I say reportedly, was 42 years old when that happened. Nobody really knew how old Satch ever was.
I love that statement that he made.
What, don't look behind you?
Yeah.
Somebody might be gaining on you?
Yes, sir.
He was amazing. They said, I heard a story about him, that he could stand on the warning track in center field and one-hop a baseball into a trash can on its side on home plate. That's how accurate his arm was. Ray Searage is the pitching coach. Daniel Moskos is one of their 2 lefties. Former Nat Joe Beimel the other. And so the Pirates are buying some time here with Worth. They must be thinking about the lefty with LaRoche, but now there's a right-hander up too.
Not to mention, you talk about accuracy, but not to mention how strong.
Strong and accurate. Looks like Jose Ascanio is the right-hander that has popped up for the Pirates out there in left center field. So they've got double barrel action in their bullpen now. Worth takes ball one, little low and away. Well, one man, Desmond, who Mahalam walked, scored tonight. Let's see if Desmond can do that again. He could be running too, although it's been tough for him to get a good look with the left-hander staring right at him 60 feet away. Ian really has never been able to get the big lead tonight in quest of his 14th steal. That time the lefty had him moving back to the bag. That was interesting. Desmond had a good lead. He had 1 foot out to the cut of the grass. And as Mahalam made his first motion, Desmond retreated. He's got a bigger lead now.
Well, FP needs to talk to you about stolen bases. He could run. I had like 19 in my career, so.
Yeah, but you were sneaky fast.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody told me you had deceptive speed rate. You were slower than you looked. They weren't looking for you for 90 feet at a time. You were a double
I'll
guy.
slip in a story here a little bit later about that.
Okay. Two and one to Worth. Good hitters count. And a good running count. And the Pirates are concerned. Worth right off the end of the bat, so it's not going far. That'll be Tabata for the second out. Were we expecting a slugfest tonight? I don't think so. Nats came in hitting 194 against lefties and 171 against left-handed starters. Pirates down there as well. Then the Mets, the Braves, the Giants. Nats only 3-6 against southpaws this year. Wilson Ramos 1 for 2 with a solid RBI single. First time up. With 2 outs, is Desmond more likely to run?
Yes, but he has to be able to pick out something that he is certain of. Generally, I mentioned earlier about getting a one-way lead. What that is getting as far off as you can, getting back to the bag, building your lead so that you can go on the first move. That way you have a big enough lead that you can just go on the first move and beat the throw to second base if he does decide to come to first.
Sharply up the middle, knocked down by Mahalam with a very good play. Well, that lefty has kept his Bucks in the game. He has scheduled to bat second in the 7th, down 2-1. For World War II Memorial. Brilliant Monday evening here, mid-May, in our nation's capital. Good ball game, good pitching, and Ray, once again, the Nationals defense shows up beautifully.
Fourth inning, Desmond goes in the hole. Pierce comes up, guns at one hop. What's the pick here by Mr. Hoover over there? Golden Glove, if I've ever seen one. Did a great job by Bernardina as Woods tried to stretch it from first to third. Nice pick and tag by Hairston, and then Jason Ward catching one down there to right field on the ball. Diaz hit with a runner on second base. Almost trapped it, but got that leather underneath the ball. Don't think it ever hit the turf.
Nationals' best team in baseball with the gloves in the arms since the end of April. Well, things are pretty even, Steven, except for the scoreboard. Lannon and Mahalam, 94 pitches through 6, and evidently each of them threw 99 the last time they pitched. It means that both of them have stuck around long enough in the game to survive. Cole Kimball is up to the Nats. Right now they do have their starting pitcher in the on-deck circle. That could change if Ronnie Cedeno, who's 2 for 2, gets on base. 3-1 pitch. Don't want to walk the number 8 man, and John Lannon has his 4th of the night. That could hasten his departure from the game. Mahalam, who has failed on 1 bunt tonight, stays in.
Well, this is a situation you can cheat because he's going to bunt here. And as a third baseman, you just go ahead and come on in, keep creeping, and you may have a shot at second base.
Fastball up.
I would not even back up. If I were Hairston, I'd just stop about 45 feet, 50 feet. I'd even take another couple steps in.
One of the other considerations here is that Clint Hurdle does not have a right-handed bat. That's a hard bunt. Lannon's got it. He's got time, and he gets the out at first after looking at second base. And Mahalam almost bunted that ball hard enough to get between the pitcher and the third baseman.
Yeah, and Hairston not playing a lot of third base. You take the ground away, but you don't charge because you've already taken that ground away, and then you put yourself and make yourself susceptible to a ball being bunted by you. If he just stays right there, holds his ground, reads the bunt, then he's able to make that play, and that's a double play.
Wilson Ramos ended up at third base on this play.
That's where he should be. There's nobody else to be there. Catcher goes there, and then the first baseman ends up coming to home.
And that will be it for John Lannon. He will gut his way through 6 1/3. Well done by the lefty. Handing the ball to Cole Kimball or anybody else at this stage of the ball game. Ray, how about this young guy first 2 times out?
Oh, as good a splitter as I've seen since Bruce Sutter, no doubt. Fastball 93-94. I haven't seen a lot of his curveball, but with his fastball splitter, and he's a guy that is going to make a big difference in where this ball club finishes. There's his curveball. Good one.
First pitch breaking ball to Andrew McCutchen. Base hit in the first, a run scored, walk in the second, strikeout in the 5th. That breaking ball goes from the inside of the plate to the outside.
That is a huge weapon to have, Bob, being able to come in, known as a power pitcher. You can throw 95 miles an hour with a power splitter and throw an off-speed pitch for a strike. I mean, that is something that not a lot of people can do. That's a strike. That's a strike right there. If it missed, it only missed by a smidgen.
Two-one fastball. McCutchen gets around late. But for the Nats, not late enough. That's a fair ball. Tie game. McCutchen digging for 3. He is fast. Perfect throw, but he beat it. And the Pirates have tied the game. McCutchen's at third with 1 out. That's what walking the number 8 hitter will do. And now John Lannon's possible win has been taken away.
Well, he just is late on the fastball, inside outs it, but it doesn't mean that you can't hit the ball down the right field line. He was beat by the fastball, but that everything inside those chalk lines counts, so he can flat out fly. I know that. Goodness gracious, he got around there in a hurry. Almost bang bang, wasn't bang bang.
Yeah, that was Espinosa on the tail end of that relay. Now the Nats will have to play the infield in with Tabata 2 for 3. The lead is gone. The Pirates 90 feet away from taking the lead with 1 out here. Top 7.
And that's what Cole Kimball will learn. That 2-1, you've got a great splitter. You're not going to throw the fastball by these hitters. You can a lot of them, but
bounce it to short. That won't get it done for the Pirates. And Desmond throws out Tabata.
But that's a quick lesson. You got first base open. Jim gave him, in essence, a hitter. When you have first base open, a runner on second, you're giving the pitcher, in essence, a hitter to work with. McCutchen catches a fastball. Was late on it, but I guarantee in AAA, batter doesn't get close to that pitch. 93-mile-an-hour heater.
Ball popped up left side, and no room for Ramos. Jason Worth on this day in 08 ties the Phillies single-game RBI record, 8 of them in a 10-3 win over the Blue Jays. 3 homers in that friendly Citizens Bank Park are Verizon Fios today in baseball history. Fios, a network ahead. To learn more, visit Verizon.com/GetFios. Outside, 1-1 to Walker.
Now with that splitter, he should be just as effective against left-handers as he is right-handers. Ooh, oh, that is nasty. If I possessed that, I'd have had to throw it 2-1 to Mr. McCutchen.
One ball and 2 strikes. Target in. Fastball overpowers him, but Walker able to get it out of play to the left side.
Boy, does he have good stuff. Davey Johnson talked about this young man having that little bit extra, and what he means by that is that he doesn't cave in. He has seen him pitch. He knows he has good stuff, but just because the pressure's on him or he makes a mistake with a pitch, he doesn't become less effective as the situation gets tighter.
Sliding to his right and finding the ball is Ramos, knowing he had to keep it close with all that speed at third base. McCutchen has tied the game with his 21st RBI on his second triple. And Kimball goes off speed outside, 3-2.
Yeah, that was a splitter that just didn't come out right.
Working for the third consecutive day here at the big league level. Pretty good battle here. Neil Walker and Cole Kimball, 8 pitches. Got him.
Beautiful.
Turned one over on him and struck him out, but the Pirates tie the game. Time to stretch. LaRoche, Morse, and Espinosa straight ahead. Brought to you by your local Ford dealers and by Acura. Acura Advance. Mr. Lincoln presiding on a beautiful Wednesday night, at least for now. There is some serious weather out to the west of us, probably 20 to 30 minutes away according to the radar. Might be a great time to score a couple of runs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. John Lennon waging quite a battle tonight, but Ray, at the major league level, walks will come back to haunt you.
Yeah, they will, and he battled early the first 5 innings with his command, most everything up, and then the last couple of innings really got in rhythm and threw a lot of quality pitches. I hate it that they tied the ball game and he's not in line for a win, but even though Cole Kimball gave up that hit, very impressed with the young man. Not only his fastball, but a great slider, the split finger, and just a man that is going to make a huge difference in this pitching staff as the season unfolds.
Paul Mahalem laid down a sacrifice bunt. He's still in the ball game. And he faces Adam LaRoche, who takes a breaking ball low and away. LaRoche leading off an inning, so the shift is on with nobody on base. Adam will take a check swing, and it's 1-1. Nets have been out hit 8-3. It's a 2-2 game, bottom of the 7th. Adam LaRoche is 3 for his last 27. But I talked to Bob Walk, one of the Pirate broadcasters, ex-Pirates pitcher. He said Adam LaRoche will get hot and just be amazing for about a month. And it always happens every season for him at a certain time, usually after the All-Star break. But I'm not sure Adam has ever been at 185 in the middle of May. Normally during or before the All-Star break, he'll hit in the 250, 260 range. And he's gone on a big breaking ball by Mahalam, who only strikes out the Nats, evidently. That's his 7th of the night. Game flow tonight brought to you by the airline, the Nats charter, all over the United States, and that's Delta. Delta says, keep climbing. One out, bottom of the 7th, Michael Morse and Danny Espinosa. Mike is so far off the plate, pretty tough to reach a pitch like that. Body way off the plate, hands right over the inside corner, and he'll extend those arms and foul it right side. That's another one that got him right down around the end of the bat, and that broke that bat as well. Danny's had a couple of good swings from the right side tonight. Right off the end of the bat, that may be 3 broken bats tonight, but he gets a base hit out of this one. He's aboard with 1 out.
Well, that one went down in a blaze of glory. And shaking his hand. His hands can only take so much punishment. Again, on Exmo, the swing, the pitch, brand new bat, out away from him. Still catches it right on the end. Look at the break and the vibration. Don't know that it broke, but if it didn't, that's a nice piece of lumber.
Exmo brought to you by Ram Trucks, designed, tested, and proven to be the best trucks we've ever built. Ram. On the Exmo, you just saw Paul Mahalam's last pitch of the night. So just like John Lannon, lasting 1 out into the 7th inning. With his 2nd triple of the year, Wilson Ramos an RBI earlier. Big blow of this game, though. Jerry Hairston, our 4th drive of the game, 2 outs, 5th inning.
Got a fastball to his liking. Hit it out there in the Pirates bullpen. Did it very professionally. I like it when they put their heads down and they flip to the bat.
He knew he got it. 61st of his career. It only took him 13 years to tie Babe Ruth that one season. And Danny Espinosa will face 26-year-old right-hander Jose Ascanio. All of last year in the minor leagues, coming back from injury. Some limited time in the big leagues with Atlanta 07, the Cubs 08-09. Brian Bixler, the former Pirate, will run for Michael Morse. Pardon me, it's Lance Nix. It's not Bix, it's Nix.
You got to run with an outfielder for an outfielder.
Yep. Danny Espinosa now, the challenge for him, do something left-handed. He's had 2 good swings from the right side tonight. There's a fly ball to deep right field. Did he get it? Yes, he did.
Hey, there's that uppercut on that low fastball.
In an instant, the Nationals lead 4-2 on Danny's 5th of the year.
Did I say something about him batting right-handed all the time?
You can be quiet now, Ray.
Hey, all right. That's a way to shut you up in a hurry. Check out this pitch track. It will be down, and it will be long gone. That's right where the uppercut helps you. Ball's down. Attaboy, Danny.
Verizon 4G LTE on the pitch track. Rule the air like Danny just did on the most advanced 4G network in the world. Nationals on top 4-2. Number 8 man Jerry Hairston. So how about the number 7 and 8 spots, giving the Nats 2 homers and 3 RBIs.
You and I were talking between innings about Danny Espinosa. Ladies and gentlemen, whether or not that man hits 200 or better, he's going to play second base in the big leagues for a long time because he's so good defensively.
Yeah, he's a brilliant infielder. Now the Nats, with the pitcher spot due up, will give Cole Kimball his first major league at bat. It's been a week of firsts for this young man.
He's in line for his first win.
That's right. Well, you feel bad for John Lannon, who was in line for the win before McCutchen's triple. And what we know about Cole as a hitter is absolutely nothing.
Well, I can tell you right there.
We'll find out. He doesn't like a breaking ball.
He doesn't want a breaking ball. Shoot, relievers never get to hit. And this may be his first at bat of the season.
A lot of pitchers that tell you swing hard in case you hit it.
A lot of hitters will tell you that.
Ballpark still buzzing about that home run. Right after the Pirates had tied the game. 21,960 loved what they saw on this one. Down and in, the lefty knew he got it, and Danny Espinosa breaks a 1 for 24 with that blast.
7th inning, giving the Nationals a 4-2 lead over the Pirates as we move to the top of the 8th. Now, Ian Desmond has been playing such outstanding defense at shortstop, and it's helped that he's had a few conversations with 5-time All-Star shortstop, former big league manager Larry Bowa.
He talked to me about slowing the game down, just really moving through the ball, and just another person on my side, another reinforcement that is there whenever things are going down. He's there to pick me up.
Ian told me, too, that Larry told him he saw him play in spring training. He really liked what he saw, and that's really helped give Ian a lot of confidence out there. He said, it's one piece of the puzzle. A lot of guys have helped me along the way, but it definitely helps, even takes a little pressure off me.
Well, that means a lot to hear that from a guy like Larry Bowa. Played the game as hard as anybody ever did. He has managed, coached at the big league level for many, many years. Lance Nix is in the game after pinch running. He's in left field. Cole Kimball against Matt Diaz. Well, it was supposed to be, but Xavier Paul, who they picked up from the Dodgers, is the pinch hitter here. Got him on waivers April 26th after he made the opening day roster with LA. .230 hitter in parts of 3 years with LA. And the Pirates have a whole bunch of left-handed bats on that bench tonight. Sean Burnett ready if needed. Because if the Pirates would go to some of those big booming bats, maybe with a man on base, Jim Riggleman could counter with Burnett, because the Pirates have no right-handed hitters left other than their switch-hitting catcher Ryan Doman. 3-1 to Paul here in the 8th inning. Jammed him and gets a pop-up, does Kimball. Early call by Hairston. Desmond calls him off. One big out. Take the Nats with you wherever you go this season. MLB.tv. You can get every Nationals game live or on demand on your computer or your favorite device. Visit Nationals.com to get more details and to order. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere.
You can run as many left-handers as you want to up there against a guy like Cole Kimball. You don't see guys like this very often now. A guy that throws 95 miles an hour with a splitter and a hard breaking ball working in to left-handed hitters. That makes it very difficult. I would not be surprised at all just by watching what I've seen the last couple of outings that this kid is not as effective against left-handers. We're not going to see that as Riggs is going to go to his matchup left-hander.
Well, I thought Jim might wait till they got a man on base to bring in Burnett, but he's going to bring him in right now against a guy with some power in Lyle Overbay. Good job by Kimball. Some weather in the area. That's why it's important for the Nats to take the lead here, which they've done. And tomorrow it's a 105 game. Charlie Morton for the Pirates. He's 4-1 with a 3.13 ERA. He's been keeping the ball in the ballpark. Only 2 homers in 46 innings. Jordan Zimmermann gets the call. A lot of strikeouts, 35 against 11 walks. We'll get you going with Nats Extra at 12:30 tomorrow. Sean Burnett in a lefty-lefty matchup against Lyle Overbay. First pitch grounder. What's better than that to your shortstop? Out number 2. Next up will be Brandon Wood, whose base running play in the 4th inning, even though he might have been safe at third, called out by Brian Gorman on the throw by Bernardina. That play might have turned this entire game around, because the Pirates and the Nats were tied, and they were in line for a big inning right there. Well, it was on a Snyder single, and then Cedeno doubled Ray, and they never did score.
Yeah, when I see people talk about, or hear people talk about good defense or outstanding defense, it's not just plays that you make, it's the plays that you make that stop other people's offense and stop runs and stop big innings. And that's what I have seen time and time and time again this year with this defense.
Sean delivers a strike, and he's ahead 1-2 here. Tries to go inside corner with that fastball and just missed. Let's have a look at the kinetic pitch track.
Nice pitch. Well, I always used to say, bust him inside. That nicked the plate. They just don't call it in there, do they? They don't call it unless it's a ball on the plate.
And Burnett gets a swinging strikeout, and this game is into the bottom of the 8th. Nats lead by 2 with the top of the order coming up. Eighth inning. Nationals on top 4-2, trying to win their 20th game of the year. 3 outs to get. And a reminder, join us for $2 Ticket Tuesday tomorrow, if you can make it by the ballpark. 105, the Nats and the Pirates. And it'll be Jordan Zimmermann against Charlie Morton. Select seating available, some restrictions apply, and it's while supplies last. And the fans certainly responded to the $1 ticket offer tonight, with a crowd of nearly 22,000 on a Monday night against the Pirates. Lyle Overbay stays into play first. In right field, Xavier Paul remains in the game. And the new Pirate pitcher will be the former Nat Joe Beimel, who makes his 13th appearance. Bit of a high ERA so far. 4.35 in 10 innings, 8 hits, 4 walks, 9 strikeouts. Opponents only hitting .211. Roger Bernardina 0 for 3, leads off. That one inside. Beimel That's about as hard as he throws, 88. He'll throw the breaking ball and the fastball to lefties, and Ray, he's got a really good changeup he'll go after those right-handers with. Bouncer up. Beimel can't get it. But the third baseman, Wood, can. Didn't Joe Beimel hurt his shoulder on a dive like that with the Nats a couple of years ago? Diving for a ball over on the first base side. If you want the latest Nats news right on your cell phone, go Masson Mobile Live. Text Nationals to 29292 for alerts sent directly to your phone. Message and data rates may apply. Ian Desmond 0 for 1 with a pair of walks.
Very patient tonight, something that Ian needed to work on a little bit.
I think that's a great strategy, Ray, because he's got a lot of power. But if pitchers know they don't have to throw him strikes to get him out, you know, walks lead to base hits eventually, don't they?
You are so right, Bob. You couldn't be more right.
I mean, if this kid makes...
I've never seen him take this many pitches in one game, but the thing is, it looks to me that he's trying to work himself into getting the proper timing, and you see the ball extremely well when you're just sitting there looking at it, and then you get a pitch and you pop it and hit it hard. But the quieter he gets with his feet, the stiller his head will be. Dang. What's Drew doing?
Looks like Happy Gilmore warming up out there.
Yeah, for real.
Ian Desmond fouls one out of play. You know, you watch baseball long enough, your mind kind of gets trained to watch certain things. I was watching the bullpen after the top of the 8th ended because nothing was happening out there. But Jim Lett was leaning up against the wall right next to the bullpen.
I don't know that I've ever seen that.
You know, if they let pitchers do that, nobody would get a hit.
No, nor would anybody want to go up there.
But Jim Lett was like a guy hanging out on the street corner. He was hanging right next to the phone because he knew as soon as the top of the night started, that phone was going to ring. He answered it and said, "Get up, Storn." And
yes, sir. Been around a long time, was one of my coaches.
Yes, he was.
When I was managing the Reds. Long time Cincinnati Red and minor league director of the minor leagues. I mean, he's had about every position that you could handle.
Well, maybe Ian Desmond taking too many pitches in that at bat. He got busted with a breaking ball by Beimel, and it'll be Jason Worth now with 2 outs, bases empty. Come and join us tomorrow. And then that'll be your last chance to see the Nationals until they come home Friday the 27th. 3-game series with the Padres. And then our buddies from Philadelphia are back in for a day game on Memorial Day, and then a night game Tuesday the 31st, and another day game on Wednesday the 1st. We just keep packing and unpacking and packing again. Seems like we just got back from Atlanta. Probably because we did. Jason Worth pops one out of play right side over the Nats dugout. And the count evens here in the 8th inning at 1-1. By the way, that game in St. Louis, the Phillies are trailing 3-1, 8th inning now. Braves at home leading Houston 3-2. And the Mets are scoreless with the Marlins in the 4th inning. That's the rest of the East, the way it stands right now. One to Worth. Off speed. That's Joe Beimel's forte.
Well, you see him swing and go to his knee because he's trying to extend his bat. And here he's out front once again and goes almost to his knee. So you either throw it hard inside or softer.
He goes hard inside, misses. This is Joe Beimel's second tour of duty with the Pirates. He broke in with them in 01. 3 years there, stops in Minnesota, Tampa Bay, the Dodgers, the Nats for 45 games in 09, and then Colorado parts of the last 2 years. He made the ball club as a non-roster player in spring training, and for a while was their only lefty out of the bullpen. Worth somehow stays alive on a breaking ball coming right in on his hands. If the inning continues, Wilson Ramos, who had a big RBI back in that first inning. Washington 4, Pittsburgh 2. Despite being out hit 8-5 with 2 outs here, bottom 8. And Worth will lace one to the gap in left center. Right up the alley it goes. He'll be 2 for 4 again tonight. And Jason Worth is 4 for his last 8.
Well, you can't go to the well too many times against a hitter like Jason Worth, throwing 80, 81, and 79 changeups. It goes again with a breaking ball. 79, Jason just stays back just a little bit, uses that great extension, drives the ball hard in the gap for his 9th double of the year.
Nationals would like to give Drew Storn a nice 3-run cushion. Here's Ramos 1 for 3 with an RBI base hit.
Well, he's going to pitch Ramos very similarly to the way that he pitched Worth. Both very good fastball hitters. Ramos proved early in this season that he could hit anybody's fastball, so they'll probably pinch him inside with a fastball off the plate and try to go soft away.
Chris Snyder wants to chat with him. You know, and if he loses Ramos because he won't throw him a strike, it's not the worst thing for the Nats with Adam LaRoche coming up, because often left-handed batters are more effective against pitchers like this.
Well, you have to. LaRoche knows that he's going to get a lot of off-speed pitches. So one thing that I'm seeing Adam do is he's swinging at the breaking balls and trying to pull them, and you must let the breaking ball get back. Sometimes almost go up there with the approach that you're taking it out of the catcher's mitt so that you see it better and give yourself just a better chance to put the ball into play. He's spinning off the ball.
And Jason Worth just walks over to third base.
Nobody holding him on at second. Not even in the neighborhood.
Jason Worth, 6th stolen base of the year.
Look, nobody even close. Nobody even making a bluff step.
And Joe Beimel is extremely slow to home plate. He really rocks back on his back leg. Now they're going to go ahead and walk Ramos. And like I said, that may be okay with Adam LaRoche.
Well, it's not because he stole third base. It's because he was behind 2-0 in the count.
Right.
Excuse me.
There's a cough button over there.
Excuse me.
Tonight's copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals. Adam LaRoche is 0 for 3 tonight. He is 3 for his last 28. And he's been presented with an RBI opportunity against his former ball club here. Beimel gets the front door breaking ball on the inside corner. And now he goes outside corner with another breaker.
Those are 2 unhittable pitches. I mean, you know, sometimes you get them, sometimes they get you, but 0-2 on 2 perfect pitches. You can't even foul those balls off.
2 on, 2 out, bottom 8. Nationals on top by a couple. Adam has to protect here. And he sees that ball low, smothered by Chris Snyder.
But with Joe Beimel not being able to throw the ball by you, which he can't do, you just have to make sure that you keep your body as still as you can and use your hands. Try to keep your body out of the swing. Just use your hands.
And now Ramos is running, and LaRoche goes right center, but the ball is caught by Xavier Paul. Drew Storen is 8 for 8 in save situations. He's been untouchable for a month. Longest active streak in Major League Baseball with 20 consecutive scoreless innings. Storen for the save. Next. Eight innings. Nats out hit, but leading 4-2. RBIs from Wilson Ramos, a solo by Jerry Hairston. But the big blow of this game now, after the Nats had tied it, Danny Espinosa makes it 4-2.
Fastball down, fastball gone. He knew it. I don't think I've ever seen him stand there and look at it, but hey, he's had a little tough time from the left side, and he felt really good about that, as did we. He smoked that ball.
So it's now Drew Storen. Pirates only have one left-handed bat remaining, and they will go with their catcher, Ryan Domit. Storen's numbers just keep on getting better. He will face Domit, Ronnie Cedeno, who is swinging well, and then another left-handed batter, either Pedro Alvarez or Garrett Jones in the pitcher's spot. First pitch up, base hit. Ryan Domit thought he would go first pitch fastball, and the tying run is into the batter's box. Action-packed table games, red-hot slots, Hollywood Casino, Charlestown Races, West Virginia, with our league leaders. Lowest relievers ERA, you have to pitch at least 22 innings to qualify. Better than that hard-throwing Atlanta lefty Johnny Venters. David Pauly and the Mariners will be here in June. And here's Ronnie Cedeno, so this gets interesting in a hurry. They're going up hacking on that first pitch fastball.
I don't
Might
blame
be
him.
time to drop a slide piece on somebody.
Oh, he'll drop a slide piece in a heartbeat. He just got to get a little into the game out there. Domit, pinch hitter. Modus operandi. Swing at first ball that you see really well. Hope it's a fastball. He did.
That was Garrett Jones, who's going to pinch hit next. There's that hard sinker that he throws. 96 on a sinker. Are you kidding me?
How about, I mean, when you start talking about numbers, Bob, you go ahead and talk about it. That is something.
Well, remember, you know how Drew Storen got through the minor leagues so quick, don't you? He didn't walk anybody. Oh-2 now. Oh, there's the killer slider,
and it's there.
That could have been a called third strike.
It is.
I think Ronnie Cedeno, complaining about the previous pitch, might have gotten himself one here.
Well, this ball's a strike.
That is right on the edge.
It's still a strike. I mean, these balls are always, you're rung up. You're rung up. A ball off the plate. I mean, who can tell that the ball doesn't catch the edge of the plate?
Goes with another one, 2-2. But Cedeno really let the umpire, Tony Randazzo, hear about that sinker call on 0-1, and I think he bought himself a call on the next pitch.
First off, you cannot take a pitch that close with 2 strikes. He did, but you get rung up in a heartbeat.
Hits the sinker to third. That's foul. And that's the way guys usually hit that sinker. I remember Drew Storen's first spring training with the Nats. And I talked to Will Nieves right after he caught him in a simulated game. And I said, Will, tell me about this kid. He said, the slider is really, really good. But he said, that sinker. He said, man, I'm feeling my hand in my arm after catching this guy.
Well, I don't see how he's going to touch the slider. That was a 98-mile-an-hour sinker there. I don't see how he's going to touch the slider. He can't cover inside and outside, too.
There it is. See ya. Not much Ronnie Cedeno can say about that one. 1 out. And next up will be Garrett Jones.
He throws a lot of these pitches that look like they hang, but they bite so hard at the end, right at top of the strike zone. And hitters give up on it because they think it's a hanger, but he's got so much rotation, it just keeps on turning down.
Now Garrett Jones is one of the Pirates' power guys. Not starting tonight because the Nats started a left-hander. He's hit 6 homers and driven in 13.
Well, he loves the fastball. He doesn't love that one.
Can't touch that. Andrew McCutchen is next. Storen's got to go through some good hitters here. Nationals lead 4-2, 1 on, 1 out, bottom or rather top of the 9th. And that ball is laced into right. That thing came right out over the plate, and Garrett Jones hit it hard.
But it's the difference between an elevated fastball and a fastball down. I've said so many times, and everybody else does too, but fastballs down to left-handers are not necessarily a good pitch because they can hit that thing. You saw what Danny Espinosa did. You get that ball thigh high and above, he's not going to touch it. You saw what he did with the first fastball, but you're throwing into a guy's wheelhouse. If you throw it 98 down there, those left-handers can hit it.
Now it's McCutchen, their hitting star of the night, with a single, a run, a walk, and an RBI triple. He has struck out 31 times this year.
This is where, as an infielder, you make sure of 1 out at second base. He runs so well, unlikely you're going to turn 2, so make sure of 1.
That ball is right at Lance Nix. Thank goodness, say the Nats fans.
Hey, that's just
2 outs.
Just a line drive out.
That'll bring up Jose Tabata.
Well, he throws him a curveball, I believe. Yeah, he does.
Slider,
Slider, gets it over the plate, hits this ball firm right there.
Hey, sometimes they hit it hard right at somebody.
Hey, that's why it's baseball. You got those people out there that are supposed to be able to catch them.
Jose Tabata 2 for 4 tonight.
Harrison guarding the line to make sure that a double doesn't get down and rattle in that corner to allow them to tie the game up. Outfield a little deep. Shortstop, second base, first base straight away. Everybody straight away. Outfielders a little deep, maybe a couple steps. Harrison guarding the line.
Tabata, right center. Jason Worth is there. Nationals win it, and Drew Storen is 9 for 9. First Major League win for Cole Kimball, and the Nats have won 2 in a row.
Solid defense, good pitching. John Lennon lasting long enough to get the bullpen in there. Timely hitting. Danny Espinosa, big night.
Nationals hold on to win it 4-2. They draw even in the season series with the Bucks. More from the ballpark in a moment.